What's up everybody, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel. Now it is, by the time you see this video, New Year's Eve, the end of 2021. Hope you've all had a fantastic year. Hope it's been a great year, successful, all that good stuff. At this time of the year, you know the deal, everybody talks about what were the best moments in combat sports, in MMA, boxing, all the rest of it. What was the best submission? Who was the best fighter of the year, the best fight? And of course, what I'm going to talk about today, the best knockout. And the best knockout is one that I'm always keen to discuss. It's one that I love, and just as a combat sports fan, as a former fighter, as a commentator, somebody that earns a living in the combat sports world, knockouts. I'd love a knockout. Now, that's not to say I'm some kind of sadist. I don't love to sit there and watch a human being get hurt, get injured, get traumatized, get knocked out in front of the entire world. I don't admire that. I don't enjoy that. But I admire the skill, and it's fucking impressive. Can't deny that. There is something visceral, there is something animalistic, something feral even, to watching another man take another man's lights out, to put him unconscious. Listen, back in the day, right, this is how battles were settled. You know what I mean? Two forces, two armies sometimes would send out their best guy and they would fight to the death, and whoever won, that was it, okay? Now, throughout thousands and thousands of years, human beings have got more civilized, and you could say that combat sports has become more sanitized through the ages, to make it a sport, to make it a spectacle. That's why we brought in times. That's why we brought in rounds and weight classes and all the rest of it. Think about it. You know, if you go back to some of these crazy fights that went on for hours, you wouldn't be selling out the MGM Grand, would you? You know what I mean? You wouldn't be booking the best arenas in the world because the sport just wouldn't be there. Look at the early UFC. Look at that years ago. No rounds, no time limits, no rules. You could do whatever you wanted, you know, but they had to sanitize it. They had to make it a little more civilized for the human palate so that they could wrap it up and they could market it and sell it and make it a sport that we all know and love. So, knockouts. I love a good knockout. I take no pleasure in seeing somebody unconscious on the floor, but I do admire the skill that goes into it. And when I see that knockout delivered in that way, you know that whoever it is that is delivering that knockout blow has spent hours and hours and hours training that one move in the gym. One of my best kicks, one of my best attacks was the lead left high kick, okay? And I would throw it all the time. As Bruce Lee once said, fear not the man who has practiced 1,000 kicks one time, fear the man that has practiced one kick 1,000 times. Still, there you go. Enough Bruce Lee for one day. Now, I went to the community post. Thank you all very, very much. The channel is very, very interactive. As I told you on the live, I've got a great team, a lot of stuff planned for the channel next year. And one of our guys did a community post asking you guys who or which was the best knockout of the year. We've got some great suggestions, and I'm going to go through them here. We're going to start in last place. Last place, according to you guys, by the way, over 70,000 votes. Again, thank you very much. Contact lenses driving me crazy. If you saw the live today, you will know why. Still, coming in at last place, December 18th, was Jake Paul versus Tyrone Modley 2. All right, let's just take a quick second to hear from one of our sponsors, which is Choq, C-H-O-Q, or more specifically, Choq Daily. Did you know that men's testosterone levels are at their all-time lowest, and they're about 50% what they were since 1970? And in fact, men's testosterone levels are going down by about 1% every single year, which is absolutely crazy. Now, if you know me, you know I'm dead against any kind of steroids, but natural remedies, why not? I'm all for that. And Choq Daily is the cleanest research-based testosterone booster available. And the main ingredient is something called purified shilajit, which is a powerful adaptogen from the Himalayan mountains, okay? Shilajit offers 40 different minerals. However, unlike many other products on the market, Choq's contain exceptionally low levels of heavy metals. Shilajit has helped men restore and maintain their vitality for over 5,000 years. Choq's Shilajit is clinically studied to help boost testosterone daily in healthy adult males by 20% in 90 days. It supports healthy hormone systems, promotes endurance, and enhances healthy inflammation response, okay? So give yourself the best start in the new year by going to choq.com at check out, use the code Bisping. You're going to get a massive 50% off 2022. Be the best you can be. Go to choq.com, use that code Bisping, save yourself 50%, and all the best. Okay, let's get back into it. The fact that that's even being mentioned along some of these great knockouts is mind-blowing to me, but But I will say this. It was an impressive knockout. The fight was garbage. The fight was terrible. I've spoke about it at length. Not going to get into it. Unlucky to Tyrone. Well done to fucking Jake Paul. But it was a great knockout. It was a great knockout. And it wasn't signalled. It wasn't a fix or nothing like that. It was a good, hard thrown punch that found the target and it put Tyrone Woodley to sleep. Great knockout. And it saved that event. It saved Jake Paul's career to a certain degree. Probably ended Tyrone's career as well, let's be honest. But if that fight didn't end with that knockout, nobody's probably paying to see Jake Paul fight again. But still, it goes back to what I said. That ending gave everybody what they wanted to see. Believe it or not, we all want to see that. We want to see the violence. We want to see that shock and awe. We want to see that gruesome display of violence, right? That just captures the imagination and makes people lose their minds. And that one certainly delivered. That came in with 11% of the vote. Now, coming in, pardon me. Joint last place was Cory Sandhagen, Frankie Edgar. That was February 6th this year. I believe that was very early in the first round. Cory Sandhagen, it was a beautiful flying knee. What a knockout that was. It really was. It was so nice the way he set it up. He didn't just stand there. They weren't trading blows and he just threw a flying knee. He kind of backed up and he knew Frankie was going to follow him as he walked backwards. He corralled him into him. He knew Frankie was going to follow and he stepped back, and then he leapt into the air. Beautiful precision, excellent timing. He'd obviously worked on that setup many, many times. And I'm telling you, because I've had one myself on The Ultimate Fighter. I think that was the only one I ever got. Nothing feels better than landing a flying head kick. A flying knee knockout. Fair enough, I didn't knock my guy out. I put him down. I finished the fight. But to jump in the air and to throw a flying knee and knock somebody out, let me tell you, it feels good. So well done, Cory Sandhagen. Now, one of the reasons I agree that shouldn't be, one of the best knockouts of the year, whilst visually it was impressive, athletically and skillful wise it was incredible. But there's other things that go into this. We've got to look at the ramifications of the bout. We've got to look at the storylines. We've got to look, was he out cold unconscious, and did that fighter have a propensity lately for getting knocked out? And unfortunately for Frankie Edgar, everybody loves Frankie. I love Frankie and I feel bad even saying this. But the reality is that just lately there's been, he's been a little suspect. The chin's on its way out, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to find nice, respectful words. Love Frankie Edgar. But still, that is a factor to consider. As I say, joint last with 11% of the vote. Now, coming in with 12% of the vote, this was a great knockout. It was Rose Namajunas head kick KO of Zhang Weili, 1 minute, 18 seconds of round one. Now, great knockout, beautiful knockout, lead leg. Boom, just brought up that lead leg. Shin on chin, never a good mixture. There's always going to be one winner, and that's the shin, okay? It's a great kick, catches there, knocks the head to the side, boom, down you go. Now, for me, and I agree, wasn't my best knockout of the year. Tremendous fight, tremendous knockout, great finish against a tough opponent in Zhang Weili. Rose took the belt off her, incredible moment, but she never put her to sleep. She dropped her in style. Then she finished her by following up. But when I talk about knockout of the year, I want to see a knockout. That was great. It was incredible. I'm not taking anything away from Rose. We're talking about the best knockout of the year. That was a sensational finish. It's classed as a KO, but it wasn't the knockout of the year. But thank you all very, very much for your input on that. That came in with how many? That was 12% of the vote. Now, good one here. Yuri Prohaska, Dominic Reyes. This one came in with 40... hold on. What was I saying? 19% of the vote. Way off. 19% of the vote. This was 4 minutes 29 of round two. You saw it. It was a beautiful elbow combination. Yuri Prohaska. Keep an eye on that name. I mean, my God, I think he's going to fight for a belt pretty soon. It was a beautiful combination. Elbow, stepped in with the rear elbow, spun with the lead elbow. Boom, beautiful knockout. Reyes falls face down. Again, things to consider. Reyes, at the time, very highly thought of. Took John Jones to a decision. These are all things you've got to factor into the equation. Because if you take a guy that's an established champion and they knock out somebody that's not even ranked, yeah, okay, it's still a great knockout. But the the impression that makes. You know, I mean, the grandness of the knockout, for want of a better word, it comes into play, you know, because a guy that's one of the best in the world or a champion of the world should be knocking out somebody that isn't ranked or somebody that's just having their first few professional fights, you know what I mean? But when we're talking against some of the best people in the world, like Rose Namajunas against Zhang Weili, that's the best two ladies on the planet in that respective weight division. That makes it even more special. So well done, Yuri Prohaska. Yeah, I love that guy. Yuri Prohaska, out of his mind in the best possible way. Cannot wait to see him fight again. But that brings us down, and there is one clear, big winner here, without a shadow of a doubt. Right? You guys said it. I was going to say it. Thank you very much. 70,000 people voted on the YouTube page channel and said, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal 2. That happened earlier this year. Let me just look here. Hold on at the notes and the timing. It was 1 minute and 2 seconds of round number 2. If you saw it, it was a pay-per-view. It was a title defense. Again, these all go into factor into the equation of the greatness of the KO. Jorge Masvidal, we all know, game bred, as game as anybody. He's a real fighter, great skills. It was a rematch, of course. Usman had beaten him once, but it was a decision, right? They made the rematch, okay? And I think Masvidal was maybe a little tentative. He was maybe a little overly concerned with the takedowns because that's what cost him the first fight. But this is mixed martial arts. You cannot obsess over one particular area because when you're looking down, you should have been looking up. If you're waiting for a takedown, you're going to expect a right hand. And that's exactly what fucking happened. It was a right hand from hell. Again, a title fight, main event of a pay-per-view against one of the best contenders in the world, and a guy in Jorge Masvidal that's had only ever been knocked out once before in 2008. Okay, so it's not a guy that was chinny, not a guy that was at the end of his career, not a guy that was, you know, that has a propensity for getting knocked out, like I said, right? It only happened once before, and what a fucking knockout. It was a picture-perfect right hand, boom, straight down the pipe. Connects with the chin of Masvidal, and I'm sure you all saw there's that picture where Masvidal, he throws it here, and Masvidal's like asleep on the shoulder of Usman, right? He's asleep, pardon me, dropped my phone. He's asleep on the shoulder of Usman, right? It's an amazing shot, it really is, and it just shows the viciousness and the beauty of that KO. And I know that sounds weird to some people, but most people that watch this, we all love mixed martial arts. We all love combat sports, and we all love to see a knockout. To some people, to hear a knockout described as beautiful is crazy. They would think there was some kind of psychos. They think we need locking up, think we need therapy or something, or a psychiatrist, because we see and get enjoyment from the knockouts. As I said at the start, I don't get enjoyment from seeing somebody hurt, but I do admire the skill and, as I say, the beauty and the technique. And a right hand is one of the most basic shots in the game. It is first day boxing, but it's the basics that win fights. It's the basics that are there for a reason. They are the fundamentals. They are the building blocks to being a great fighter. Just like the jab, the right hand, the left hook, the right hook, the uppercuts, and you can go on all day. Do you know what I mean? But don't forget about the basics. And the right hand, the straight right, is a peach of a motherfucking shot, and they don't get delivered much better than what Kamaru Usman, the welterweight champ, the pound for pound number motherfucking 1 did on that evening. So there it is. There is my knockout of the year. That is your knockout of the year. That came in with a massive 47% of the vote. Knockout of the goddamn year, Kamaru Usman. I know you got a lot going on in your life, but come on. On the Michael Bisping YouTube channel, we got a fucking trophy coming your way. Congrats, brother. Congratulations on everything. You've had a sensational year. Finished it off with that great win over Colby Covington as well. What a year he had as well. I mean, Kamaru Usman might just be fighter of the year as well. Gilbert Burns, Jorge Masvidal, and then Colby Covington. 3 title defenses. The man's on fire right now. Really is. There it is. Okay, guys, New Year's Eve. Go out tonight. Enjoy yourself. Or stay in. Don't go out, whichever it is. I'm recovering from COVID. My whole family came down with it, so I won't be going out anywhere. We'll be staying in. We'll be having a little bit of a meal, maybe a couple of little drinks, but we will not be going outside. If you do, go out, enjoy yourself, and I hope 2022 gives you everything that you wish for. Kamaru Usman, congratulations.